So wanted to talk about one of my favorite photography accessories. I think it's the most underrated too, and that's an L bracket. Now it's really simple. An L bracket is just a metal bracket in the shape of an L, and it goes on your camera, and it replaces a typical Arca Swiss plate that would just be on the bottom of your camera. Its function is really simple as well. It's meant to do one thing and one thing well, and that's switch your camera from a horizontal orientation to a vertical orientation and then back and forth. Now, this might not seem like it makes a big deal, but it really does. It's going to make you so much more efficient in the field, and it's going to reduce a lot of frustration. So if you just have an Arca Swiss plate, on the bottom of your camera, and you want to switch to, say, vertical orientation, change the perspective, see what a shot looks like, you can do that, but you're going to have to adjust the pan on your ball head. You're going to have to, loosen your ball head, drop your camera, maybe it's going to hit your tripod leg. It's just going to take you a lot of time to get that shot, get level. And in a position like this where I'm standing, my tripod's elevated, it's easy to access my camera, this might not take you a lot of time, but it's going to take you more time than if you had an L bracket on. Now, where it really shines is in scenarios where, maybe you're crouched, you're low to the ground, your tripod's in a, weird position. When it takes just 1 second to switch from, like I said, horizontal orientation to vertical, you're not going to miss that light or that moment where, some type of, some wildlife appears, something like that. When I was using a plate and, I was doing things like adjusting the pan and trying to get my head tilted down perfectly, I've missed shots and I've missed light because that's taken, decent amount of time. Especially when my tripod's in like I said, a hard location, I'm bumping my leg, I can't get it. I can't get it all the way to 90 degrees vertical. That happens. It happens to me all the time, and that's why I went out. I bought an L bracket, and it's just made shooting so much easier. I don't miss shots because of that wasted time. I still miss shots all the time. We all do, right? But at least it's not because of something so trivial as I can't get my camera set up fast enough or get it in that perfect orientation. So in workshops, I see a lot of people not using an L bracket, and especially beginners, people just starting out. And I think it's because they just don't know that this L bracket, this simple thing, is out there. When I was just starting out, I had no idea. Any ball head I bought, it came with an Arca Swiss plate. I would just screw that on, go out, and I'd be frustrated, while trying to adjust my camera. And I just thought, okay, it's just something I have to deal with. Then I started shooting with other photographers, and I'm like, hey, what do you have on your camera there? That L-shaped thing? And they'd say, oh, if I want to switch, and see how it looks vertically, I just do that. And I was blown away. I was like, okay, I need one of those. So I went home, I went on Amazon, I bought one, and ever since, my photography life has been changed. And I know yours will too, if you check it out. And I'd say after you have your camera, your lens set up, good tripod and ball head, I think an L bracket slots in, right after those things. Polarizer and filters are important too, but I really do think, an L bracket is the thing you need to get after you get, the foundation of your setup all completed. Go out and get an L bracket for your camera. So I think where an L bracket really shines is scenarios like this. Now, I'm in Wisconsin right now, and we're in the middle of winter, but imagine, I'm shooting wildflowers or something really, a unique foreground element. And a lot of times when you're this close to the ground, a vertical orientation looks really, really good. So I've taken a couple horizontal shots, and now I don't have an L bracket on. I want to switch to vertical. And I'm already uncomfortable, my tripod's kind of in a weird spot. So now what I have to do is I have to rotate the pan on my head. I need to loosen my ball head, and now try and get it to slot, perfectly. And I'm running into two things, and this happens a lot, and it makes me really, really angry. This is why I use an L bracket. What happens is I'm trying to get my camera in the orientation I want, for the perspective I want. My camera's bouncing against my tripod, so now I need to change my tripod around, switch it around, and it's still hitting. So now, okay, maybe I need to get it like this. Now I've thrown off my perspective. My camera's not in the position I want. So it takes a lot of time to kind of get that lined up. And the other thing I noticed is, okay, once I've locked down, let's say I get my camera finally level. What happens is I find that these Arca Swiss plates, although you think they're tight, they don't always stay tight, especially when your camera is like this. So if your camera's in the right orientation to loosen that plate a little bit, I find that it moves a little. Look how much give my camera has. It's bending back and forth. So what I found is I'll be taking a shot, and what happens is I finally get in the right spot, and then all of a sudden my camera just starts to sink on that plate a little bit. And then I need to start the process all over again. So you can see, if you're shooting a scene like this, which, as wildlife and landscape photographers, a lot of times we're very close to the ground, it can be really frustrating to try and get your camera lined up perfectly. And in the time you take doing that, you might have missed, the great light, or, that moment where you saw some awesome wildlife. That could be gone. So you're losing precious time by not using an L bracket. And this is an extreme situation. An L bracket is always going to help you, no matter if your tripod's in a standing position, you're taking a normal shot. It's going to help you there too. You're really going to notice it in situations like this. So now, same scenario, but with an L bracket. Look at it, I'm shooting in horizontal. I want to switch, see how vertical looks. Look how easy it is. There we go. Now if I need to fine tune it a little bit, I can adjust my head, move it around, but it's just so much simpler. It saves you so much time, and it just makes operating your camera and your tripod, system as a whole, that much easier. If you're looking to buy an L bracket, I recommend just going to Amazon.com, typing in L bracket, and then your respective camera. You should see a lot of different options, all ranging in price from say $20 to $50 to over $100. Really, the only difference you're gonna see across the price ranges is build quality and how well the L bracket fits your camera. I use Really Right Stuff L brackets. I find the quality to be excellent, and the fit on the camera is really, really good. There's no rubbing of the metal, and it just kind of molds right on your camera. Now, that might not be the case for some of those lower priced options. So although you might end up paying $100 to $200 for your L bracket with Really Right Stuff, it is my number one choice because the build quality is so good. Now, regardless of which L bracket you get, I recommend just getting one to start. And to assemble, it's really, really simple. You just grab an L bracket, an Allen wrench, and your camera, and you're just gonna thread on the L bracket like you would an Arca Swiss plate onto the bottom of your camera. Take your Allen wrench, screw it in, and there you go, you're all set. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you can see how useful an L bracket is. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. If you're using an L bracket now and you have similar thoughts to me, or maybe you feel differently, we'd love to hear from you in the comments as well. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.